Okay. That's what that button does. Okay, okay. Ludicrous. Crazy. Oh, why does it look like there's nothing showing up? No, it's working. Alright, alright. Just not showing up here. I wonder why. It'll work. Either way, we should start. We should begin with our programming. There we go. All right. Yeah, I was a lot more busy than I thought I would be, but I now have time to program a bit, so we should get to that. I've been figuring out lots. For instance, if you remember, on the week or on Friday, we were having a lot of issues with our program. Okay, I had issues with making sure that everything was aligned correctly. But since then, I figured it out. I figured out a lot actually. For instance, now we have the base dock here. If you go in, these are. I haven't figured out what to do with these yet. I think they're go. I think I'm moving them over to the. Yeah, I think I'm moving these into the base document files, or out of the base document files and into the service files. No, we don't want base doc. We want the base service. Here we go. Yeah. I now have a save function right here. Check it out. So once we call save, we can automatically export it out to the exact database we want. And we define said database when we initialize our service. So what we have to do now, if we're going to run our services, if we hop over here to one of our scrapers, let's hop over here. See, we have a main function, and in it, we first initialize our database, which one we want to use, so we'll know exactly where we need to go. And then from that, we can then proceed to perform the various actions that we need to do. We can extract the data, save it where we want. So this is very useful. Oh, this is super useful. So now what it effectively means is that every collection here, so the GameFAQs collection, Rom DB, which is the ROM hacking collection. Oh, we don't need Pi anymore. Pi was test. We were testing Pi. But yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. Let's also get rid of. Let's do that. Get rid of that. And okay, so far so good. So now we need to start going in and extracting more data, but we need to start working on our parsers. We also need to start working on our main functions. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and restart everything. So first thing we have to do, run setup. I think, oh yeah, I was working on that bit. Oh yeah, I didn't decide exactly where to save this. Either way, we need to run this. There we go. And there. This doesn't have. Yeah, we don't have any. This doesn't go anywhere yet. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we set it up. So here we can see we simply will create our logs. We will make our Mongo connection. The default is super important, hence why we have setup functions now. And then from here, we can then go to our main function. Let's hop over to, let's see here. This one. And in this, we're simply picking game facts, initializing the database. Oh, there we go. Game facts. We're initializing the database. As you can see, we're connecting to... There we go. Initialized. Nice. So now from here, whenever I call our functions, we should save them to the proper location. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and load up our scraper. Let's see here. Where are you? Here you are. GameFAQ scraper. All right. Let's run this. Oh, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Oh yeah, I bet I know why you're complaining. Yeah, okay. I've been trying to make sure everything is type corrected. There we go. So now we've run. Let's load this up. Self.gamefacts. Oh. There we go. For initialization, I'm looking through here. We don't have to add anything. All right, so let's run it. Oh. You have not defined the default, but I thought we did just define. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go over to setup. There it is. This right here is the setup. This is supposed to set our default. So when we run this code, okay, let's see what where the error is. It was working yesterday. There is a meme. There's a very silly meme online about how when you're in isolation and you're doing stuff, everything works well. But as soon as you have to start presenting it to people, suddenly everything breaks down. Usually we like to say that it's based off of your PI. When you're in science, you have principal investigators, and when they are around the area, they just have some electric field that will cause nothing to work. That is exactly what's going on here. You have not defined the default connection. That means it has to do with our Mongo service. All right then, so into Mongo service right here. Let's run this. Actually, yeah, let's run this. Now then, Mongo service dot get connection default. Now let's go to Mongo service dot registry. There's our default. What about connections? There's our default. All right, so it does exist. Let's go to our main scraper. Here we go. We're going to run that. Actually, let's check something out real quick. And there, I think that's the problem. This right here, when I call Mongo service, okay, that means in the setup, it should be the same. So if we define this here, then that should be correct. So when we go to the main and we run this, we should be using the same service. Okay then. There's defaults. There is connections. Okay, so there we go. Let's see if the connections are correct. They look correct, okay. So now we have those. Let's go to the scraper. Let's see here. Here it is, right here. Run. Self dot game facsimillium scraper and okay. Where exactly is this throwing the error? Let's see here. It's involving web page service. Okay, then from here we are base service enum, so most likely it's in base service. Let's see here. Default connection is getting the DB. Class get DB. This should work though, because in this case we're just inputting in our class documents, which happens to be, well, web page doc. Web page doc. Let's see here. Web page doc throws the error, so let's go to web page doc. Let's see. We put down the aliases, which happen to be default. I wonder. I'm going to get rid of those. How much do you bet it's the alias that's causing a trouble? But it claims the default is not set, which means it should not be that. It is amazing how nothing likes to work when you want to use it. There we go. Oh yeah, we need to add in. All right then. Web doc is not defined. Oh. Of course, of course. All right, we have that done. This should be correct. We're pulling directly from the service. Now when we run main, we're pulling from the exact same service. So when we initialize, let's see here, Mongo service dot connections is the same. Yes, this is a singleton. It should work. Now then, let's head to our scraper. We'll run this. Everything should be the same. And connection failed. Cannot get... Why is the connection failing all of a sudden? Web page service. Could not initialize web page service. Cursor, get collection. Connection failed. You have not defined the default. Oh, but maybe I changed something in Mongo service. Let's see. I have here that if the database name is default, then we create a default. You know what? Let's do this. Since this is now a class method, so let's see, if this is not in, then we create that. Then we don't need to worry about an else statement. There. Well, technically we should probably keep an else. Well, I don't like it. Okay. We'll keep it like this for now. Let's try and get this running. It is very annoying that I changed one thing and it decides to crash. Okay. Because one thing I did change was it being from a... I'm trying to avoid... I want it to stay in class function, so I'm trying to avoid using instances, but I have a feeling that might be the actual problem. Because if you see right here, I do create the service, and then I put it in an instance. Since it's supposed to be a bunch of class functions, this should be fine. But I wonder if that might be... The fact that I changed it from that, I wonder if that might be the problem. All right, now this one. There we go. Okay. Okay. It's working. Perfect. All right. We just needed to fix that bit right there. So now we're in. Aha, okay. Oh. Come on. Don't crash on me. I think I'm going to need a faster computer at some point. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Nice. We have now access to our scraper. So now, first thing to test. Let's see here. We can do the extract console. Let's try this. Oh. Set up a tracking system to monitor where we stop. Okay, we'll have to do that in a bit. So what console should we extract? We did PlayStation. Let's see here. I should probably definitely need to keep track of what we extracted. So we have PlayStation right here. And that was it. Okay, we just did PlayStation. All right. So the next one on the list should be Nintendo 64, huh? All right. See, okay. Game console enum. There it is, Nintendo 64. And we run. Oh. No such item for the cursor instance. Oh, right. Okay, let's debug a bit. Why did it throw this complaint? It should be later down the line, huh? It's a PyMongo error. Right here, okay. Let's go ahead and grab this first. So what does our web doc list look like? It is empty. Why? Okay. Why is it empty? Hey, Jin or Lijin. How's it going? Well, we've managed to get a lot of things working, but we've also managed to break a lot of things. LJ. All right. Ah, I see. I see. Thanks. I'm busy working on updating him though. He's not raccoon enough. I need to make him have a bit more raccoon features. Okay, so query sitemap. Actually, we should probably head into here. Do I retcon? I don't know what that means. You'll have to explain it. You like how his mouth open? He's wearing a VR headset because you can't really see his mouth, being that he's a raccoon. I mean, and I could show you. He's based off of, oh, it's, yeah. Okay, 1 second. I need to go. I have to fix that. Okay. There you go. He's based off of this. Hey, how's it going? And camera off. There we go. Okay, yeah, he's based off of that. Hence why he doesn't have a mouth to talk, which is why he's wearing a VR headset. Okay, let's hit the web page service real quick. So the database name is default. Oh, actually, let's see. We should be going to 6 usages. GameFAQs scraper. That's the problem right there. Okay, I think I just found the problem. It's a major problem that we can easily solve. So the default we're putting in to our web page service is literally default. But if you remember, we are changing that. So the scraper is now has to go to we have to define it. So we have to define, so let's define our database. And this is going to be we're not changing that. Okay. There we go. We'll put that here. Okay. I'll have to fix that in the other locations too. Well, it's a local server. This is the starting of you kind of showed up at the starting, the beginnings of building a scraping tool. What we're doing is we are trying to catalog all of the known ROM hacks out there, as well as keep track of all of the different websites which will have reoccurring updates. Yeah, exactly. We are scraping. An example that I can show is GameFAQs here is actually a good example. It has a lot of game data, but if you go to romhacking.net, here we go, romhacking.net, I need to figure out how to verify this. I'm tempted to just take control of the mouse and have it go click. But here you can see lots of ROM hacks for all of the different games. They be translations, they be hacks as in changes to the game. Oh, there's something called PokeCart 64. Oh, hey, that is hilarious. Oh. But you get the idea. They have all of these hacks, and they are in many different... Yeah, that's a new hack, I know. But yeah, they have there's many hacks across many different websites, and I kind of want to build a database where I can track all of these and know what's available, and know when things are updated, and what games they are attached to. Ideally, near the end, when we get to the later stages, I will start compiling lists of the different hacks, mainly the ones that worked with each other. Because you'll find in here, there will be a lot of appendums. Oh wait, they added a lot of here we go, this one right here. Here's a nice example. This is a full translation hack of the Mega Man World 3 DX, but it's in Portuguese. So in other words, it's a hack of a hack. So I like to keep track of these things. Well, not exactly. Most of these websites, they update in bulk. So, you know, they update once. They'll update like once every 2 or 3 days, based off of how many get submitted and then how many get approved. So if I went in each week and just checked out the latest pages, which would be right here, then I know everything. Then I'll know everything I need to do. Exactly. Which is why we're building that. Which is exactly what we're working on. Okay, let's restart everything. Okay, then. Let's see here. Where's setup? There it is. There's that one. Now let's go ahead and set this one up. There we go. Let's go ahead and launch our scraper. And the connection is broken again. But I don't know why. It was working just a second ago. Connection with alias GameFAQs has not been defined. Oh, I see. I get it. That means we're not... But that should be in the initialization step right here. Unless this is... How much do you bet we have two opposing systems going on right now? Because the whole idea of this initialize right here is to literally initialize our service. GameFAQs. And I bet if I checked Mongo service... Yeah, there it is, GameFAQs. It must have to do with... Let's see here. Why not use requests? Oh, the reason why is because of the fact that a lot of websites nowadays prevent scraping. I mean, because of the onset of bots, well, they've been around forever, so I can't really say that it's been a recent thing, but ever since a lot of companies started scraping more for building their LLMs, a lot of websites have started implementing countermeasures to prevent websites from accessing the data. And when you have just a random entity, I guess you could say, when you have a random unit just scraping willy-nilly, one, you end up using a lot of resources, which could be a major problem. And two, what ends up happening is that you'll have websites actively producing ways to stop you from scraping. If you remember, when I had to go into ROM hacking, they already had a Cloudflare approval. And yes, sometimes scrapers just can't get around that. And there are some websites that if they actually acknowledge that you're trying to scrape, they'll start sending you to garbage data or sending back garbage data. So what I'm trying to do is build a scraper which will pretend that it's a human, and it will just go through and collect stuff in a reasonable fashion. So we're trying to basically hide our scraper bot. Okay then. GameFAQs is not defined. All right, let's see here. Web service. So we call web service, we pull in the database. So it's a problem here in web service. How much do you bet it might be? Let's go a bit further down. I think I might know what the problem is. Because of the fact that we're not pulling Mongo service anywhere here. We're doing it here, but we're not doing it in our base service. Because of that, it's effectively just causing chaos. That means our Mongo service... Okay, that means our Mongo service has to use SwitchDB. So let's move this out. So doc SwitchDB... Okay, so yeah. Yeah, we need to import in Mongo service somewhere. All right, we'll put in our services here. All right, let's see here. Well, I know enough. A lot of my projects that I used to work on, they were all scraping based. So I had to I had to learn about how websites would function and what type of data could be extracted and how to get around it. Because, all right, so one of the things that I was working with required me to annotate, kind of define what all of the websites were. And a lot of the websites, particularly the ones that I needed to target, were very much like they did not want to be found. These were websites that were trying to hide. So they hid behind Cloudflare. They hid behind multiple IP addresses. In fact, one particular website would change its IP address every 2-3 months because they were trying to avoid being tracked. So I had to learn a lot of the things about that in order to go, oh yeah, this is the same guy. This is the same website we've been wanting to keep an eye on. He changed his name again. Okay, we're just going to connect the database now. How to get around cookies being blocked. Well, usually that involves cookie spoofing. This is another reason why we're kind of using Selenium, because cookies naturally have to be created. And one thing you could do is take the cookies from a proper... Pretty much the idea is that you would load up Google Chrome or Firefox or whatever website that you're using or whatever browser you're using. Export the cookies, and then from there just import them into your scraping tool. Well, in this case, Selenium, and it should act. The other website should not ignore. The other website should go, oh, this is a perfectly normal setup. Nothing to see here. It's not being run by a bot. So that's kind of what you need to do. Yeah, Firefox. I wish Firefox would get better. I wish Firefox would get much, much better. Okay, so PyMongo synchronized database. So we're pulling in Mongo engine documents. So yeah, here we're pulling in our documents. Class. This will be our... This is the cursor one that we're doing. This is switch to DB. This is finding the cache. Okay, so we should definitely put our oh, this is saving. This is in the base service. All right. So yeah, we just need to bring in Mongo service right here. I think if we just import... I actually don't need to create an instance of it. I just need to import it. It's a better dict. Oh, I'm very curious. Let's check that out. Let me get sidetracked for a little bit. I've been actually thinking about how to improve dictionaries. So I'll be very curious to see what this is. Let's see here. Let me... Okay, one moment. Let me get this set up. One problem with my setup is that so many variables constantly keep changing, and as such, I usually end up having trouble. Let's see here, where are you? Here it is, capture. Or... No, that's not you. There, you. Okay. Okay, there we go. We're in. Okay, let's see here. So... This one. Nested dictionaries. Ah, I see. Nope, it's not this one. JICDIC. Ah, okay. Underscore dict. All right, let's check out... All right, let's go to your website real quick. Let's go to your thing. This one. Let's see here. Is a bidirectional dictionary with superpowers. It behaves like a normal dictionary, but with advanced features like reverse lookup, which is very important. Support for unhashable keys and values. Ooh, this is looking pretty good. I wonder what the J stands for. Is it a Java? Is this like a Java dictionary? Hmm. Nah, okay. Well, I like the look of this. This is one thing that I was thinking about. It's my initial. I see. This is your code. Oh, nice, nice. Let's see here. Key value index. This is the reverse lookup. There's delete, copy, update, and then I will have to look into this. When I get to that point when I need to start doing reverse lookups, which will be pretty soon actually. Not at this very moment, but I can guarantee it's going to be pretty soon because we'll be doing the parsing pretty soon. I'll have to look into using this. I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to keep that loaded up. Thanks for pointing it out. Yeah, because one of the big things is the reverse lookup. That is the big issue that I have of 01. That is very good, actually. Ooh, that is, yeah. As I said, I'm going to have to I'll have to look into that when I get to that point. Okay, for here. Switch database. Yes. I will. You're welcome. You're welcome. As I said, I'm always looking for ways to make the code better. Okay. Oh, thanks for the follow. Actually, you know what? I should probably make that a bit bigger. It's a little bit tiny. There it is, reactions. All right. Reactions can be a bit bigger now. There we go. Okay. Anyway, let's not get distracted. let's not get distracted. Let's get back to this. We have a lot to do. Okay. So the main thing is the connection is not, because of the fact that our base service is not importing Mongo Engine or using Mongo Engine particularly anywhere, it is causing issues. I know that because if you look here, web service, base service, none of it is calling Mongo. I know that I did set here to initialize our database, but this is just initializing the web page doc. It's not initializing anything else. So it's supposed to be initializing this, but I don't think that this also has it either, does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't either. So because of that, we're kind of, I need to start importing that and using the service a bit more. Okay, first things first. Let's get rid of that. Okay then. So Mongo service. I'm tempted to say just putting the instance in should be fine, but I highly doubt that would work. Well, what I'll be doing is I'll be using a tool like Docker. So yeah, okay, sorry, not Docker. It'll be a combination of Docker and Rundeck. So Rundeck is an orchestration program. Let me show you. I haven't installed it yet. I need to do that. Rundeck. Yeah, I haven't installed it yet because they want me to input my information and gain a subscription, and I'm not doing that. I have to figure out a way to get the open source version of this. But yeah, This is an orchestration software. What it does is it will organize runtimes. So they claim here organize to minimize downtime, but the idea of in my case is I want to maximize downtime because I don't want it running all the time. I want it to go, oh, it's Monday morning. Let's go to GameFAQs and extract some data. Let's go to romhacking.net, extract some data. So that way I can then say, okay, on Monday you use these stuff will use resources, and then on Tuesday we'll use resources over here. Yeah, that's the idea. One time per day. Actually, as I mentioned, because of how often these places will update, it actually might be even less than that. Maybe twice a week, like every Monday and Friday. But yeah, we'll be running it on this. Hence why I'm setting up main functions, which are here. But the main thing is getting Mongo service to work. Yes, I am making this for fun. Yep, exactly. Just because I want to. Let's see here. The Mongo service is here. What exactly did I put in Mongo service again? So we have create connection. We have initialize. Initialize will define our connection. There we go. And then I should probably have, let's see here. Why don't we call save? Yeah, maybe we should call save here, or I'm trying to think. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a bit dumb. I'm going to run setup first. I'm going to run this again. There we go. Now let's run this one. There. Now let's run this. Okay, yeah, so it throws an error. It throws an error because we did not define the alias. So let's type in Mongo service. Let's check our connections. So yeah, it's not seeing this instance. Particularly, web page service is not seeing the instance. But base service should be seeing it now because we put it here. Let's see, let's actually load this up real quick. It's our document class. It is, the name says Rom DB. So yeah, that is setting up, that is the default. So that is working. Web page doc, when we load it, it was initialized correctly. Actually, that is a good question. Did we actually initialize it correctly? It should, because the error is that we're not getting we're finding the alias. All right, so let's see here. If I do web page service, we'll put GameFAQs. And okay, there we go. So there it's throwing the error. GameFAQs is not defined. Maybe, I'm trying to think about why it's throwing this error, because it doesn't make much sense to me. Again, everything is being defined. Web page base service is defining everything. In fact, it's throwing an error right here when we're doing the find cache. Yeah, right here. Database name is right here. So if I type in fact, when are we actually running find here? Yeah, we're running find cache right here. Let's see here, game facts. I want to learn web scraping, and web making, but I can't. Lazy. It takes a lot of motivation. It really does. Actually, doing any programming takes a lot of motivation. Okay, then let's see. Database name. Database name, game facts. Okay. Let's see here. Let's check out our class document. So this will be class document. There we go. So now if we go to find data. Okay. How did we get it working earlier? Sounds good, sounds good. If it has ROM hacking data, then I'll definitely scrape it. And we have ads. I guess we'll continue going through, even though there are ads going on. I guess we'll just continue going because I'm kind of debugging. Maybe we'll finish it before the ads end. Okay. Then we can explain what's going on. So it's all about the base service, which we're having trouble with. Let's see, taking in our class document. You would think that this initialization would be correct, because initializing right here is we're creating the alias. Ah, here you go, database name. There it is, database alias right there. So yeah, we're creating an alias. How much do you bet it might be this? Let's change this. If host, or let's see here, if DB name not in cls.connections.keys, then we run that. We'll just have two if statements. There'll be two logs, and then what we'll do is we'll log that one. Then we'll just copy this one over here. There we go. And we'll just change this to default. Oh. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's try and run that. There we go. So we have those two set up. Now let's run here. And there we go. That should be the connection for Why is the alias Rom DB? Why does it feel like we're setting up a completely different connection as well? That looks like a bug I'm going to have to figure out. And we run that, and we do not get our output log, which is a bit strange. Why is this not outputting a log? Where is the data coming from? Host port DB name initialize. So this should be alias list. If an alias for this an alias list. If the connection is there, then yeah, if this exists, then we continue. If it doesn't, then we're going to create it. Going through creating, we should log it. And then we add it to our connections. So why is it not logging GameFAQs? I can try and explain it. If maybe explaining it might help. Let's see here. Let's check out the GameFAQs connection real quick and see what is its actual name. Oh, I focus. All right. Okay, I'll focus. All right, let's check out what this one is. So B dot. Oh, we have host port next nodes. Let's see. So this is our database. And it's called, well, okay, that's DB. Well, apparently that's there. I'm going to put it into something else. Let's call this banana. Okay. Apparently, oh, whoops, wrong go. Oh, apparently this is going to just, oh, it's just going to put that there for everything. So that's not working. Nonetheless, I think there's a problem with my initialization function. I could just run this, because technically we just input it in here. You know, if it's in the connections, then yeah, if it's in the connections, then, or not in the connections, then don't bother. We don't need that now. I thought I figured it out. I thought I figured this out the other day. Okay, there we go. We established two connections. We established, let's see here. We established default and RomDB. All right. Actually, I'm a bit surprised RomDB keeps being established. I really am. It might be because of the if statement. No more red stuff. Well, kind of. We're still debugging. Now let's go here, run this. And this will create another one called RomDB. Actually, let's do a quick check. Mongo service, connections, and why did, I think I might know what, I think I see a problem here. For one, this keeps running as soon as we, yeah, this automatically runs when it shouldn't. And it's setting this GameFAQs one as RomDB, because if you look, the alias, yeah, the alias is, okay, where'd you go? Oh, here it is, here. See, alias is RomDB. So I wonder why it's doing that. Yeah, I know that I'm calling it when we do, I know I'm calling it right here. And I know that the default, actually there is no default here. There is a default. Wait a minute. I found the problem. Okay, ignore me. I found the problem. I'm a dummy. Why do I have class here? Where is this being called? Where is this thing being called? I'm setting it there on the connection, but I'm not actually... Okay, I think I solved the problem. Oh, boy. Let's go ahead and get things up and running. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and get into our main function. There, even though it ran immediately, it should create a connection called GameFAQs. There we go, that's correct. Let's go into our scraper now. There we go. Okay, I found the problem. I found the problem. Another typo. Okay, anyway, it's working now. So now we have access to... So now it's loaded up. Now, let's do the final check. Let's go to... I think I should... Yeah, here's web service right here. So what we'll do is self.webservice.get cache. And it is empty. Alright, so we're not there yet. We should have... Or, better yet, I don't think I found the cache yet, did I? Yeah, okay, there we go. It works, never mind. I need to go back and quickly fix that what we did. Here it is, web page service. Let's get rid of the... There we go, okay. Working. Perfect, done, set. We have our cache. So now that we have that, if I run this code here, I should get a web page list. And it's empty. All right then. Why is it empty? Because it's set to sitemap. All right, we should have a sitemap in our... We should have a sitemap in here. Unless I accidentally deleted it. Yeah, there it is, sitemap. The tag is not sitemap though. Yeah, we didn't tag it as sitemap. Let's see here. Am I listed? Nope. All right, we go. So it's just ID and then web type. ID, sitemap, web type, sitemap. Okay then. All right, so we'll have to fix the query. I bet if I look at the first document. Oh. I bet if we look at the first document. Let's see here. Let's get our cache. I'm going to call this, we'll call it B for now. Yeah, there it is, sitemap. So yeah, there's a problem with our query. Query items. All right, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out off stream. I've been wanting to get to the scraping. Let's run this. Oh, game console. Let's set that first. Console. We're going to extract the Nintendo 64. There we go. Oh. Gaio. Add oil. Have a good one. Good luck. All right, let's see here. So now we have that. And if I run this, it should all be... No item. There's no item called cursor. Let's see here. That should be fine. Or maybe not. Actually, web page doc. No, it should be fine. We're interfacing with a web page doc. That should be fine. But web page doc has no attributes. So, I thought I actually added that in the base doc. How much of it we delete? How much of it I accidentally deleted it? I would not be at all surprised. Let's go back into our commit history real quick. No, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. Right here. Okay. Right here. It's because we were trying to get what the database was for this. Okay, and I think I was trying to move it over to the services too. So we'll go ahead and change that in our... Where are we? Okay, so let's go ahead and not worry about that. Let's get this. Oh yeah. Web page doc list. I forgot. I need to set that. That's B. Or that's the first item. There we go. So we're getting our sitemap. We're then going to parse out said sitemap. And there's an error. Okay. Oh, yeah. I know what. Okay. There. I'm gonna have to fix some of this code so it's not so hokey. There we go. There we go. We managed to get to our data frame now, finally. Okay. So here's all of the sitemap data. All right, so from here we want to go for the console. Oh, did I set that already? I did. Okay, yeah. So we want to go for that. So let's go ahead and run it. Run. Okay, topic. Oh, topic. So topic is going to be game. There it is, game. We'll just call it game for now. There we go. This should give us the URL extension. There it is. Let's run. And there we go. Okay. It is now extracting. If we check it out, there's our sitemap with all of the data. There we go. Perfect. Okay, good. Running. Nice. We have that. We have to fix the query. So let me put that down as a to-do. To fix query for fix query as not working. Okay, we'll put that down. And we'll have to fix that as well. But this should, besides the query, this is working. So what we should focus on next is extracting game data. So in this particular case, we'll want to go for the same stuff. We'll want to go for the game console and the topic. And then here, oh yeah, we're going to have to do the query again. Okay. We might have to fix the query now. Okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to run this, and we want to pull out. We don't really care much about the ID, but we want the tag. Because if we go look at what we're doing, we're saving tags right here, and it's the console code. So when we tag, and here we're looking for console code like that, this should pull out all of the web scraped data that we want once we get it working. Once we have the query working. But then from here, what we can then do is we'll be doing something kind of similar. We'll just simply be going through, decoding the pages, building a data frame. I wonder if I'm going to have to parse this code out. If I do, then that'll be great, because then I can save on space. But if not, then that's going to be a bit annoying. Yeah, because we're going to be looking... I actually think that this code is going to work the same. So I'm going to call this the... sitemap table extraction, or better yet, extract sitemap table. Hey, Storm Extreme, how's it going? We are busy working on our scraper. If you see, our scraper is actually running. Oh, actually, we should do a quick check. This was actually kind of a test that I was running. So it looks like it was extracting properly. We got to Z. Did it put it in the right database? And the answer is no. Where did it save the data? Did it put it in Rom DB? And the answer is yes, it did. So that didn't work. So I mean, it extracted. We were able to save our data. It saved it to the wrong location. So what to do? That's the whole point of the switch statement. Okay, let's see here. Okay, well, I know that the PlayStation data works fine. If I do this, is this empty? No, it's not. I'm going to have to find out why this isn't working for our... Yeah, I'm going to have to find out why this isn't working for our sitemap. But this pulled this out. I'm going to run this real quick. There we go. Now let's see what this looks like. Here. Here we go, DF. Oh. One moment. View data frame. And it looks good. Oh, it looks very good. Granted, we only extracted the first one, so we're going to have to loop through more of them, but we have our code, which is the N64. We have the file. This is the actual to the data that we want, and then this is the game enum, the game console enum. All right, so yeah, we can easily just we can just copy and paste this code. All this right here can just simply be done here. We'll pass in our HTML file, which happens to be... Oh, it's just a string, isn't it? I think it might be just a string. Yeah, it's just a string. It's a decoded string. And this is going to return a data frame. Let's go ahead and return this. Because of the fact that this should be a static method, because we're not calling it, we're not using anything, it's just performing a basic function. There we go. Now from here, what I can do now is replace all of this. I can replace all of that with this. We can simply put in HTML file, like so. We'll call this that here. There we go. We don't need that anymore. Okay, and with that, because of the fact that we have multiple files down here is this one. So we have multiple, that's the game dir, game directory. In this case, here it is, extract console data. We're just grabbing the first one. Yeah, this is why we ended up having this issue. So what we should do now is add in a for loop. So for HTML file in web.list, we will simply decode our file. Oh, this should be HTML. We'll call it an HTML doc. And then from here, we can decode HTML doc. There we go, and then HTML file. We can then run that. There we go. And then what that should theoretically do is it should extract, it should run all the stuff for us. There we go. Yeah, that would work. This way we'll create our list and then we can pull it out. And then last but not least, we're going to repeat this code here, right here. And in this particular case, we definitely need to output, because the idea will be, this will overwrite itself many times. Since this is going to be the sitemap, actually, yeah, since this is going to be sitemap, I think there's only going to be one of them available. So theoretically, we don't really need that for this one, but we definitely need it for the one below. I'm going to put this back as the way it was, but the one down here, we do that. We'll call this one total. Oh. Total HTML df. There we go. There we go. And then we'll concatenate these. And then last but not least, index. Ignore index, and that will be true. There we go. Okay. And then from here, we can then proceed to extract all the data. So I bet if I'm going to have to, technically this should be in the parser section. Because we want to the idea is that this will only be extracting. So I will have to put this in the parser section at some point. Let's see here. Why is this not working, actually? Let's find out. If I run that, it comes back with nothing. Could it be because of the ID sitemap? I don't know. Let's look. Okay, then. So we have these are all sitemaps. Yeah, these are all web type sitemaps. We have a tag PlayStation. If we go to the very first one, it's just lowercase sitemap, the ID. How much you bet it might be because of ID? I wonder if I change this. If it does, then I'm going to have to fix this. But if I run that... Oh, what are you doing down here? Exit. No debugging. We're just... And then if I ran, look to here, and the answer is it throws an error. Okay. So yeah, that's not it. Let's get rid of web type. Yeah, then it is involving the ID name, sitemap. I wonder why it's doesn't like the ID. Yeah, there we go. I wonder why it does. Yeah, I wonder why it's not liking ID. Well, one way to find out is we go to the web page doc. Let's switch to the database. I should probably run this. And we're going to change it to GameFAQs. Oh, missing a positional require. What is the positional? Place with gamesman. No, GameFAQs. What about this one? Oh, okay, DB alias. Oh. There we go. Positional argument not defined. Self. But, all right. Okay, I know why it's complaining. I know what's complaining. Okay. Self dot. I'm gonna get the cache. Oh. Okay then. A dot objects. Actually, I don't think it has objects, does it? Yeah, it doesn't have objects because it's a query. Because it be a query. So we're called. Actually, we should probably. That might be one of the problems. I see. That might be one of the problems. We need to set the query because we're doing get cache purposely because we want to have access to the web page doc and do stuff with it, but we want to. Oh, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. I think I know where the problem lies in my code. I'm going to have to fix that. But the main point is this right here needs to still... We need to switch databases and then grab the data. Because that's what we're doing here when we cache it. Right here. Find cache. What we do is we switch to the database. We then find all the objects in the database, and then we store it as a query list. So theoretically, what we should be doing in our service, which is query collection, which should theoretically be in our base service. I'm going to move this to our base service first. This should be in here. There we go. And let's go ahead and output that. Enum, and this needs to be a dictionary. Any. Now here, what we want to do is class object. So yeah, we're querying the class object here, but theoretically we should be querying our cache. So let's see here. What is let's type A. So here it is, a query set. So how do I query a query set? Let's see here. Am I capable of querying a query set? That looks like we need to head to the Mongo engine. Let's go there. Mongo engine, query a query set. Because if not, then I'm going to have to write my own filter. And that's going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, so page objects, we then make UK pages. Then here's another one for querying. Oh yeah. I am going to have to implement that. I just remembered. Yeah, that's going to, okay. All right. I have to work on that. Let's see, objects. Querying lists. Here we go. No, that's not it. That's a raw query. Updating the pipeline. No. Limiting the results. No. Custom queries. Oh yeah, this requires us to actually define it in the meta page. Why do I have a feeling that I cannot query it? I cannot query a query set. Yeah, I can't. It looks like I can't do that. That's a bit annoying. That's actually very annoying. But with that being said, what it means for a temporary fix... Let's see here. We'll have to do this. Alright then, so... Okay then, so with our database like so... And this is as called cursor. We're going to run all that, and then... We'll call this cursor. There we go. Okay, that should theoretically fix the problem. Yeah, that should theoretically fix the problem. It's a bit of a... And I need to put down a to-do there. Oh. Set to query the cache. Set to query the cache. There we go. Okay. Because we ultimately would need to do that. Because if I keep tapping the database, especially as more other processes start getting involved, it will slow the system down incredibly. So what I need to do is I need to tap it once, which is what we're doing when we do find cache, and then everything else should be related to the cache. So this has to query the cache, which means I'm going to have to probably write some of my own query code. But theoretically, that should work fine now. Now the saving part. Let's get to the GameVac saving. We have here save doc. This is the problem. We're creating a document and then we're saving it. And if we go down here, we're creating a document and we're saving it. That's the problem. We now need a to-save file. And this will be a web page doc. Yeah, I forgot to do this. Yeah, this is why it's saved in the wrong location. Okay, there. So I already did it for romhacking.net, which is why it worked fine. Let's hop over so I can show you what I mean. So if we go to, not that one. If we go here, you can see this is the code. And when we go up, I have a to-save function. And the idea is that when I create a document, I will then put it here in the to-save. And I'm kind of storing all of the changes as a form of cache, as a form of cache. And then afterwards, once I'm done, I need to change this here. I notice that I need to change this as well. In fact, let's go ahead and change it right now. So say, let's see here, self dot to save. Doc, and this will be the doc ID. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. So yeah, so the idea is that we run these, and then once I'm done, as in once I'm finished at the very end of running all of this, oh yeah, there's a lot of these docs I need to fix. I will run this code right here, which is to save. And what it does is we'll then go through the list, run the web page service called save. And what this will do is it will then go in, change all of the, let's see here. Here it is. What it'll do is it'll switch all of the documents to the appropriate database and then save it. Because RomDB is the default database, that's why it's saving it in RomDB. So I need to actually set the switch, which I forgot to do. So if we go to the scrapers, let's quickly update all of these. So let's see here. And then self.save, there we go. And we'll run that here too. And then down here on our extraction code, we're going to create a document where we'll then, so all of these run this extract table. And then once we get down here, all right, that needs to be different. But afterwards, we then run the save. And I should probably put a log in here too. So we'll go doc or self dot to save doc ID doc, there we go. Okay, so that should save it in the appropriate database. We'll change this from RomDB to, yeah, let's go ahead and change this. Let's see here. This is a service. Let's put this down in the services. Let me organize this real quick. That's all the general parsing. So we'll call this the database. And this happens to be ROM hacking. ROM hacking net. Now, when we run here, web service, this should be database. Actually, you know what? Maybe I could be a little bit more lazier, but we'll set it like this for now. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So now we have that set. That's situated. Everything should be working fine. I will have to define out the different database structures here, maybe in the main function, which is one reason why, which is kind of one of the reasons why I said maybe I could be a bit lazy, because I could just pass in what the database, what this needs to be. But I digress. There we go. So let's go ahead and change our scraper tool as well. GameFAQs scraper. So let's see, our self.toSave doc ID is equal to doc. And then here will be self.save. And I do not have that. This toSave function, let's see here. Where is it located? This needs to be further back. I need to inherit this. Selenium base is not Selenium base. This is a service. Okay, where are you? Oh, let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Ads will start in a minute. Okay. Here. Here's the save function. What do I import in here? I inherit it? I do not inherit anything. Okay, I do not That means it should definitely be in web page service. Actually, we are calling web page service. Okay, I see what I'm doing. Okay. That means we theoretically have to kind of have it everywhere. Unless I make a base scraper service. Maybe later. For now, we'll put this right here. Now let's go ahead and copy and paste that down here. There we go. Okay, so far so good. And then from here, we're now in the extraction step. So, yeah, so far so good. That means everything should be working fine now. If I run the code, it should save it exactly how we want. Which is great. Let's hop over to our code here. I'm going to go ahead and go back here. Since it accidentally deleted or I accidentally did this, maybe I don't want to keep tapping. Okay, this should be pretty quick. I could probably, I wonder, can I select multiples? Not really. Not really. Oh, well, I know. We'll do like this. Like this. If I do that and hit enter, it doesn't count. Okay. Yeah, let this right here. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm being a bit anal. Can't help it. I wish I could just select all of this in here. Select all of you and delete it once. I'm a bit surprised that it won't let me. We don't want to delete utilities. We just want to delete these ones down here. And almost done. There we go. Okay. Done. Deleted. Since we already know the code is working, and it's actually, we never figured out the cache problem. I should test that. Let's do a quick test on that side. Let's just do a quick test on that side, see if it works. There we go. Then we'll initialize our service. There we go. This should have initialized. Yep, there it is, GameFAQs. Nice, okay. So now we have that running. Let's go over to our, maybe not the scraper. Let's go to, let's see here. We're going to define, here it is, web service. So let's go ahead and run this. Or let's go ahead and initiate all this. I'm just going to create a basic web service right here. So we'll call it WS, web page service. And in this case, we put in our database. We're calling it GameFAQs. WS dot query. So let's see here. Now here it is right here. We just want to run this one. So we called it WS. So let's grab this. WS dot that. Oh, you mean WS doesn't exist? Oh, this WS. Okay, it's working. Good, nice. It's working now. So that means this code here should all work perfectly fine. Nice, nice. All right. So now we have that code. Let's see about doing the game extraction side. So let's go ahead and... yeah, I should probably start creating the parsers. So that's ROM hacking service. Let's see here. This is the NLP, ROM hacking service, base service. All right. I know what this is. This was kind of a temp file. We need to... this is now parsing. So let's see here. NLP tools parser. Parsers. There we go. I need to... okay, let's go ahead and delete that. What am I doing? We want to move parsers to NLP. We'll put it in the tools section. And then here we will then create a file. Call this the GameFAQs parser. We'll call it the Selenium parser. Selenium parser. There we go. Let's go ahead and copy over some of... let's copy over some stuff. Okay, maybe we don't need to copy over anything. But we will need to bring in web page. So we'll copy this one real quick. There we go. Call this GameFAQs Selenium parser. We don't need to worry about those. We do need to worry about the database. We do not need to worry about... we don't need to worry about that. For our we still need the to-save dictionary. Okay then. Let's go ahead and add these in. There we go. Now the to-save dictionary is no longer going to be a web page doc. This is actually going to be a different document entirely. One that will be holding our data. Now the question is what should this document look like? Let's worry about that later. Let's worry about that later. For now, let's go ahead and continue with working. Let's get over here and we'll build our parser still. We can build the parsing data here and then we'll transpose it into our parser and then make the modifications. That way we can continue moving forward. So let's see here. We want to extract the game data here. So let's go ahead and first do that. Oh. Let's define this real quick. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should go ahead and start moving these over. Let me start moving these things over. Because I'm thinking about it, it might make more sense to do that. I wish there was a way to just instantly import in all of this information. I don't have to keep doing this. There we go. Okay. Now we need to get extract sitemap again. This is technically code we'll be using in different locations, so I'll keep that there for now. We'll put this here. We need to import in our XML file. We'll import that. There we go. Nice, nice. Now that we have that and that, The save function will be different. Yeah, we should probably keep the save function separately because I'll be saving to different locations. Actually, while I'm at it, let's see here. So this will be setup and save code. Actually, we'll call this the core functions. And then down here will be the extraction functions. There we go. Last but not least, let's get our initialization code. Here. Yeah, let's get the initialization code. And we do not need Selenium base because we're not interfacing with that. So there we go. Okay. So from here, we can now go in, pull out our data, and do the extraction. In which case we can then, we should run this. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, T is not defined. We'll call that a string for now. It's wrong, but it's better than having an error. Okay. Self dot game facts Selenium parser. Oh yeah, there we go. Now self dot extract this one. Let's see here. Wait, this should only have, oh yeah, I get it. Okay, we want this one, particularly console and topic. So with this in mind, we'll set this to game console PlayStation, and we'll set the topic to game, like that, since that's what we extracted. This will not return anything. Okay, let's do that. Let's return HTML-DF. Okay, then let's reset this up. Oh, and let's go ahead and save this out. There we go. Okay, and we have B now. B, it looks like it worked. It looks like it works like a charm. Oh my. It did. It worked like a charm. We have all of the game URLs. Perfect. We even have the code, and we have the enum attached. So that means I can start cycling through this. So where to save this? Personally, I would just want to parse out this file right here, this section right here, and call it a day. Parse out the second column and then save it as a yeah, where to save this? It really depends on where we want to store it. Personally, I would like to store it all in the same area. Yeah, that's a bit of a complaint there. Web page service. We want to, yeah, we're not doing that now. We're saving to another location. We have a new document, which means we have to have a new service. New document, new service, new everything. Let's see here. These are the docs right here. We have our base, enum fields. Wait, yeah, these are the enum fields. This is how we want to do enum for Mongo Engine. Web page doc, which I should probably move to a different area. Rom docs, which will be the information about the ROMs. How about we create a document? Or how about we duplicate a document? Yeah, why don't we duplicate this one here? Yeah, let's duplicate this one here. And we'll call this the... actually, I don't know what to call it. But we need to duplicate it nonetheless. That's what we need to do. Paste, there we go. And this is a doc. We'll call this the... data source doc. There we go, data source doc. And this is a very basic file. We're going to have, okay, let's load up base doc real quick. So here we go. We have tag, name, ID, audits, and meta. So we don't have to worry about the ID or the name or the tag. That is already existing. In this case, this is no longer going to web page docs. This is going to be called data source. Data source. We will not worry about the index. Yeah, we'll not worry about the index. Web. All right, here we go. So this should actually be a very basic. This is going to be an enum dict field. So let's go ahead and get rid of, let's see. I want to import it in first. Enum map field, that's what, there we go. Enum map field. In this case, we're going to have to create a new enum. Actually, I think I already have maybe that. It should be in the types. You know, the web type enum. Let's go check the enums real quick. Web page types. Web page types enum. Yeah, that's the web page types enum. All right. Sitemap, web page, articles, social media, news. Part of me feels like I should use this here, but also part of me feels like, yeah, because this is going to be data sources. Actually, this might work. Yeah, this might work. Because I can see here I started putting in page types and media types. This is all of the different type of data that we can download. And because this is going to be source pages, pretty much where all of the URLs are to our particular sources, that means this should we could theoretically toss this in. So that means we should toss that in. And the next one is going to be a dict field. Or a dict field or a list field? Maybe a dict field. A dict field where it's going to be, let's see here. I think that might be good. A dictionary field. And the general idea is that we're going to put a string with a string. So why don't we call this the sources? We'll call this sources. Data sources. We do not need data here because this is no longer needed. We do not need URL either. This is just going to be this very basic file here, where we're going to grab all this. Pretty much we're going to create this, and we're going to attribute an ID to it. And because of the fact that it is going to be, you know, we can create different types for different IDs, then this should, I think this should work. I wonder if this is a bit, I'm trying to think. I'm wondering if this is going to be a bit excessive. I think it... Because with this setup, we'll be doing... we can do IDs. Actually, this might work. I actually think this might... I actually kind of like this. Because then I can do... What I can do is... I can start setting it out. This is all of the PlayStation data sources. This is all of the or this is all of the Nintendo data sources. This is all of the Atari data sources. I think this is a good idea. It might prove me wrong later, but I think this is a good idea. So why don't we go ahead and work on it here? So let's go ahead and import this in. We will have to initialize this document as well. I kind of want to... Well, yeah, let's go ahead and bring this in. I'm thinking. So we'll have to pull in this will be a service to interface with this. So this will be the data source service, which will be data source service. And then from here, we'll be interfacing with it. Data source service. Like so. This is going to be constant though. This isn't changing. We're not going to be changing the different but because we're changing the database, theoretically we are. All right, we'll just pass in we'll pass this in as well. Since we're keeping him with each data source. Data source service. Let's see here. This is a Mongo. This is a DB service, I believe. Let's see, where are our services located? Oh, here we go. Here's web browser service. All right. Then let's go ahead and create a new one. Actually, thinking about it, I'm going to move this into Mongo because this is a Mongo file. And then from here, we'll put down a new file. We'll call this NLP. And then in here, we will create the data source service. This is going to be almost identical to, this is going to be almost identical to our browser, or not browser service, but our, okay, yeah, it'll be close to our, oh, I don't have a browser service, okay. Web page service. This is going to be very close to web page service. Oh, I want to copy all that. There we go. Base service. Nice. Now let's rename this. Data source service. Okay, let's just continue going. Now this will be the document that we just created. We still need the web page enum. But this is now going to be... Let's see here, data... Where are you, documents? Here it is, this one. Data source doc. All right. I think that will... Oh, we spelled service wrong here. Let's fix that. There you go, service. Okay, then. The default will be... I guess we'll call it default for now. Okay, then. So when we initialize, we should create the... This is where... Yeah, this is where the issue comes in, because... Theoretically, I don't really need to do this. I guess I'm going to do it anyway, because as I said, I want to keep everything separate, but ideally, if I wanted, because this is all just URL data. We just want to do, this is just for extraction purposes. So because of that, what I could theoretically do is create an external database and just store all of the data that we have extracted, all of the URLs that we extracted from every website, and then we could just keep tapping that. That way everything, I won't have to mess with all of the switches, the switch database functions and code. I won't have to create a bunch of caches either. Speaking of which, I might have to fix that too. A lot to... I'm thinking of a lot of improvements that I'm doing, because one other thing I could do is create a global cache where when I initialize something, it will put it into a... It pretty much is a singleton. And once I put it into a singleton, then every time another function calls for it, it doesn't have to create its own separate cache. It can just go reference the cache that was already performed. It would be maximum data efficiency right there. We'll have to... Well, since we're writing since the front end, or since, you know, the different parts, we're trying to keep as separated as possible. As in, we're creating them so that they're, besides the inheritance that's required for Mongo engine, we're trying to keep everything as separate as possible. So I could easily change the back end where how the cache is performed once we get to that step. So for now, what we can do is we'll just focus on here. But since we have the service, now let's get back to our parser. Here we go. Let's go ahead and import that in. So here we are. We then establish our connection, and then what we're going to do is we want to save here to this. So when we do save, it's actually saving this. We're saving that document, or we're saving our web page service documents. That one. All right. All right, nice. Okay then. So now, if you recall, we did the extract tables. It's right here in systemsdf. And, well, right now we have it called B. But if we look at B, you can see here's all of the PlayStation data. So what we're going to now do here is we will save all of this extracted data in our database. Let's see here. We run that here. Right here. Right here, right here. We'll change this. So self.dataservices.create documents. Our document ID, we should use the we should use the console code. Oh, code, thank you. So that will be our documents. And then from here, we'll go doc dot, actually not dot. Oh, it should be, it's our map field. So technically it is dot. But what did we call our map field again? We called our map field data sources. Okay. All right, we called it data sources. So data sources here, this will be our topic. And in this case, we'll put in our total, this should be a, since this is a dictionary, this is an enum to a dictionary. So I need to convert our HTML file. We need to convert B into a dictionary. So let's see here. If I do a toDict, okay, we need to, okay, let me modify this a little bit. So there's our code. Theoretically, I could just output this. We just need to modify it a little bit. Let's go here to dictionary. Let's see, can I change the axis maybe? Okay, no. All right, so what are our inputs we can do? Here we go. So we have dict, list, series, split, tight, index. Okay. Actually, what is the index? That's it. Hey, Ansel. Anshul. How's it going, Anshul? Okay, let's check B again. What's our index? Our index is a number. Okay. So we don't actually set our index. Our index should be... Actually, our index should be the name of the game. I'm actually surprised I don't do that. Let's get back to parsing real quick. So, root path is text. And then we put in for our system info, then console. Let me run this real quick. Let's see here. Here's our web doc list. Oh. Here's our web doc list. Okay. Come on, be nice to me. Play. It's not being nice to me. How's the progress? We have figured out a lot. Okay, that explains. Okay, we figured out a lot. For instance, our parser is working. Our code for extracting the data and putting them into different locations is working. Even our code for saving the data is working. So everything seems to be working now. I even figured out what was wrong with the query, which now it's working. So now what I'm working on is a bit of the parsing code so that we can get all of the URLs into its own file so that then I can just go in and grab it. Because the last thing I want to do is... Okay, the last thing I want to do is have the scraper have all of the parsing code built into it. I mean, they're both going to be running separately. So the last thing I want is to keep calling the same function. So right now what I'm doing is I'm splitting the parser out from the scraper, saving the data of interest, and then I will have the scraper go collect the data that it wants so that it can then do the processing. For instance, right now we don't have Selenium anymore in the parser. So that way I don't have to keep creating an instance. Okay, games console enum. I see, I forgot the M. Console, topic, Topic is game. All right. Data source. Oh yeah, we're working on that one. So let's go ahead and run this. There we go. This should give us a nice healthy list of docs. There it is, 27, that's correct. Now we'll go ahead and run. Well, this is technically what we want to run here. So HTML doc or HTML file. Okay, let's just run this. There we go. So now we have HTML file right here. Let's turn it into our root. Do the, like so. Now here. Break. Oh. Okay, break. Like so. There we go. Now if we go to name, it's Z path. It has that. Now let's do the splitting. There we go. So now system info. It's actually game info. Oh. Alrighty. There you go. HTML game vaccines.ps. Well, I mean, that's kind of working. One moment. Let me think. That's the file. Okay. All right. Let's run this real quick. Then we'll go to total df again. Let's make sure that it's, yeah, it's working. Let's go all the way down. We ended up pulling, I think, the first one. There's a game. All right. There is an actual game called Z. Got it. That's why I'm a bit confused. I was like, what? So there is a game called Z on the PlayStation 2. I never played it. What is that game? What is that game? PlayStation Z. That is okay. PlayStation 1 Z. Oh boy, I'm surprised that here we go. Okay. I have never seen this before. What is this game? Okay. Interesting. I see robots drinking smoothies and hanging out in the desert. And then we have a colonel. All right then. Interesting. I'm gonna have to see if I can find it and play it. I wonder where I can find it. Sorry for the quick. I'm very curious. Let's see here. If I go to, let's just go to eBay. Okay then, let's go to, not Dragon Ball. No, we're looking for something more obtuse. No, we're looking for something more obtuse. We're looking for, can I do this? There we go, that's a bit better. Oh my. This might be lost media. I do not. Does anybody know where? Okay, it's not lost media. I'm pretty sure that one could easily find the data if they really looked hard. But I would like, if the games I want to play, I want to extract them myself, because that's the, own a physical copy. Okay, yeah, I don't see it anywhere. All right, I don't see it anywhere. Okay. That will be a game that will be very difficult to find later. I wonder if I can find it in the old hobby shops around here in Hong Kong. But I digress, I digress. So that means our test was working. So that means this system info, which we were... Let's go ahead and run this. There we go. System info... Oh, whoops. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Z. Okay then, so it should theoretically work. How much do you bet it's because I'm ignoring the index? Oh, I bet that's the problem. Where's my ignore index? Here. No, let's change that to false. I think that's the problem. Because the index should come out of this. Okay, let's run this. There we go. Okay then, yeah, it was because I was ignoring the index. So that means now that we do this, if I pick topic and then we go to, let's see here. To dictionary, orient, we want to change this to index. And here we go. Okay then. That works pretty well. This is this a list of dictionaries? Or is this just one big, actually it looks like one big dictionary. Yeah, it is one big dictionary. Well, technically, I want to simplify this a bit. This is a start. Okay then, actually, let's try this. I'm thinking. Because they call this GameFAQs GameSpot.com. And yeah, that's not the name exactly that we want. Maybe, how about we do this? But we're using the other one in another area, so we need to keep that. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and grab this. Grab this. We'll do that. Call this the data dict, which is a dictionary of a string of a dictionary, which happens to contain strings and strings. And then from here, we'll reformat data dict to just be a string of the string. In this case, we will have our KV. Oh, KV for KV in. Ooh. Data dict dot items. And in this case, we want to go with the URL, but that's the second element. Yeah, we need to change the name of that. Okay. We need to change the name of that to something more useful. We call this URL path. Oh. That might be this one. Yeah, I think that might be the problem there. Because that's dynamic. But it's not tracked. I am going to change this to URL. Let's rerun all of this. Oh, there's doc, or this will be data dict. Change this to URL. Or I'm gonna have to move that up. Topic. There we go. And then we'll go with self.toSave doc.id is equal to doc. And then from here, we'll then do self.save. There. Okay. And we have an error. Map field argument constructor must be a value field. Okay. Wait, it doesn't like the fact that I put a dictionary there. It should be correct. Okay, let's go check that out real quick. Right here. And right here, okay. Run U. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Maybe we do that. Do you like that now? Yeah, okay, it likes that. Okay. Alright, it like that. Let's set this up. Set up. Now for our parsers, we're going to have to initialize. Let's go ahead and go to our scraper for now. That way we can at least initialize our data, this connection. Like so. Like so. There we go. Now that we've initialized, let's head over to our parser. There. Now let's run our code. Oh, let's set these up. There we go. And then topic. There. Ad break ends in 4. Okay, I finally noticed there's an ad break. Let's wait a sec. Let's see, anybody on chat who wants, anyone on chat saying anything? Well, not at this second. Let's just wait. And we're waiting. Waiting for ads to end before we get back to programming. I want to set up a silly little thing where an animation comes over when ads start, and it will just cause chaos, resulting in us having to play the waiting game for it to end. Maybe I can animate a bunch of dogs having a chase or something. I actually love the sound of that. I already have dogs that bark. Maybe I can draw a couple of them just running around chasing each other. Anyway, our parser is working. Let's go ahead and we set up that. Let's run this code here. There, and oh, web enum is not okay. Web type enum is not defined. Okay, where is the definition? List web page doc. Okay. Line 1. In our services, Git collection. Let's go here. Then our service. But it looks defined to me. Web page types enum. Might be in the web. Let's see here. Might be a bit lower. Because this is looking for the query. And we put the query here in base services. And in base services, here it is. Yeah, it does. It should be fine. I wonder why it's complaining. Web page types enum is not defined. I'm just having a look around to see where it says here. This is in the first line of the module, which happens to be here. Self web page service get query collection. That. Okay then. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Since I did some quick editing, let's rerun this. Let's go ahead and let's initialize our database. There we go. Here we go. Okay, error. Reference before an alignment. Wait, why is it now throwing errors all of a sudden? I am now very confused. It was working a second ago. Mongo service, okay. Con, oh. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know why. Let's see here. Else we will do cls.connections.keys, or not keys, it'll be .get db name. And we'll simply, we'll simply return this. We'll call this con. There. Otherwise, we will simply return nothing. And this is optional. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and reset this. And why are you complaining? Oh, expected a... Oh, I know. It's supposed to be LF. There we go. Okay. It needs to be an LF. Oh, yes. All right, let's reset. Let's run. Oh, let's run our code. Oh. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Don't be mean to me. Come on. There it is. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, and now we have that. Let's go to our parser. Run this. Self is equal to our parser. There. Now let's go into here. Console is going to be PlayStation. Topic is going to be game. Let's extract everything. And web night is not defined again. Okay. Oh, here. Yeah, okay, I need to bring that in. Oh, yeah, I need to bring that in. I should have checked here first. Okay, there we go. There we go. I forgot to import that in. Oh. Okay, there we go. That's good. Let's go ahead and do that. That looks to be, let's check the dictionary. And that is good. Oh, that is looking very nice. Perfect. Now, let's do create a document and save. And document not defined. Okay, let's create a document and save. And here we go. There's an error. Okay. Validation error. Key. Game is not a valid member of enum web types enum source. Oh yeah, it's not. Oh yeah, it is not a valid one. Let's get over to our enum real quick and see. This happens to be. Do we need to set that? In fact, that kind of tells me I need to change the. I need to update the enum a bit. So games, which one was it? Game category enum. Web page topic enum. Okay. So latest translation hack homebrew utility web page article web page. We probably should set this to web page. So, but man, that means everything's going to be web page. Let's add another topic in the enum. Let's see here. We have article. An article contains written content which is about a blog, such as a blog or feature stories. Actually, I'm going to say that the game section is an article. I think that makes a bit of sense. At least somewhere in my brain it makes sense. I might absolutely despise it later. We can figure that out when that happens. For now, let's get over to our parser. So here, topic. All right, so let's right here define topic to, let's see here, topic to a web page enum. This will be the string. This will be the topic string, and this will return a web type enum if topic is going to be equal to. And right now we have it set to game. Then we're going to return articles, game console enum, or game topic, or web topic enum article. There we go. And yes, I know it's a static method, so there we go. And it's complaining else. This will be raise value error. And this will simply be no associated topic for, or no associated type for topic. And this is the topic that we input in. Okay. There we go. All right. Now from here, we'll simply call this function. And that should go before here. So let's go ahead and do this. This will be called the topic enum, which will be a web types enum. We'll call this topic. There we go. And then this goes in here. There we go. Let's run our code up here. And it's saved. Okay, let's go check it out. Did it? Question 1. Did it save in the appropriate document? So let's refresh databases. It looks like it did. Step 2. Here we go. Object. We have our articles. There it is. All right, this is perfect. Oh, I'm liking this a lot. So now what we can do here is here's PlayStation. I should probably put a topic. I should probably attach the console as the topic. Or the enum as a topic, but here we go. So for web type, we have articles. Here's all of the data for the articles. Then I can eventually then have cheats and, Rom hat, a whole list of stuff, and they're all organized and situated. So now that we have that here, what we now need to do, since we're initializing the database, we're initializing our data structure, then I think that it should be fine. We're initializing GameFAQs, so because of that, we can access all of GameFAQs. So with that in mind, back to our scraper here. So instead of here, extract, no, we don't, not this one. Let's see here, where is the one we're looking for? I should theoretically do the same thing with the other side. That way I can get rid of this code here. So where else is this being used? Right here, okay. So this bit of code here, I should move it. Let's grab that, or let's copy it for now, put it in our parser. So this is extract game data. This will be instead of extract, we're changing it to parse. Parse game data. This will be parse sitemap data. And then here we'll also put down console. Game console enum, topic, which happens to be a string. This will, we don't need to worry about returning anything because we're saving the documents now. In fact, this can be returned, this can be none now. So, navigate through console sitemap and extract info pages. Oh yeah, that's something else entirely. But here, we'll run this. There we have our web page types. I think we can get rid of that. I want to keep the value error. No sitemaps found. Alright, we'll need to fill this in. Actually, you know what? Self.database. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now, from here, we're going to do the exact same thing down here. We're going to create a document. So first things first, we extract out our data. We're then going to create a document. So we should probably copy this too. There we go. So let's see here. So, So for this one, we need to add in another one. If topic is equal to sitemap, then we're going to return sitemap. There we go. Now then, this extraction is going to be a little bit different because of the way that it's set up. So let's think about it real quick. Let's think about this real quick. let's run the code there. Now let's check out system dir. Okay, so we have our indexes and we have our codes. We can see that these are all of the different data available. We have our code, which is, I don't think I need to put code in here. I know I put code and I put this in here, but I'm wondering if I really need it, especially for what we're doing here. I mean, that's one of the problems that we were having with the other ones. And this just makes it even more of an issue. Where's code? Here we go. This one. I'm going to remove this for now. Or actually, you know what? Let's do this real quick. Let's commit our changes. So get, or this is a parser. So we should go to, yeah, we added it in a couple files. So let's go cd nlp, git add, we'll add everything. There we go. And let's do git commit. And this happens to be the initial NLP commit. There we go. Okay, we committed these changes. So now what I can do is I can start removing stuff. We do not need this. We do not need that at all. And then we do not need this at all either. We just want the name and the URL. So now if I do this, and I run our parse sitemap, what does the system dir look like now? We have URL. Oh. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. This is game. Cheat, achievements. Yeah, I wonder. I know what the code is. I know what the code is doing. I know what it's doing. And this is one reason. Let's get back into here and see what's going on. Let's see, if this exists, then we get it. Otherwise, we create this. Because originally, this is supposed to be this right here. All right. We'll leave it that as it is for now. Because technically that URL, it is the game URL. Actually, thinking about it, we could easily fix that. Or, okay, it's going to be hacky code. All right. So what we have here is we have our system dir. It contains all of the data across 11 columns. What I could do first is I could parse it out like so, which would then give each of the different files, like the different consoles, will get their own list of stuff. That's one orientation. Another orientation. Let's see here. What other orientations do we have? List, dictionary. Maybe we should try dict. Split, type. Let's try dictionary and list. There we go. And oh, that's cool. That kind of deleted everything. It only kept one aspect. Yeah, it just kept trivia, didn't it? Yeah. Oh, wait. I get it. I see. That means this might be what we want. Maybe. Yeah, here we go. The trivia section is all of the different consoles. This might... So the question is how do we want to access this data, and what do we want to get out of it? That's the most important aspect. Because right now, how I have the code set up, if you go over to the extractor code, right here, how it's working is we go into our... Here it is, extract console data. So once I create our data frame, I will then locate based off of the console code and the topic, and find out what exactly do we want. And then from there, we start pulling it. But because it's going to be a bit different, maybe... Yeah, maybe we should continue with this right here, but we're going to do the multi-dictionary. Actually, we might have to go ahead and grab that, or start using some of the code that one of the viewers brought up earlier. So if I save out this as its own individual file types, but I don't have very many web page types for this, do I? Let's do this. I'm going to separate this out. We'll call this G. Let's get the keys. There we go. So we have the games, the cheats, the achievements, FAQs. So page types. Latest, hack, translation, homebrew, utility. Alright, so this is a page type. Achievements. Achievements, FAQs, reviews, board. Nope, just board. Boards for board people. Man, that is a long list of items. So board, answers, saves. We have image. Oh, we have image. We have video, which also happens to be movie. Trivia. I gave access to a lot of data. Let's see. Cheats. There's cheats, and then game. I think I'm going to call this game page. Well, technically these are all pages. We'll just call it game. We'll call it a game. Let's see here. Review. Yeah, there it is. Review, board, FAQ, achievements. And so I think that's all of them. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's all of them. That's all of them. Okay. We're gonna have it's gonna be interesting. All right, let's go ahead and start moving these over. I think this will be much easier once I fully learn NeoVim. Yeah, once I fully learn NeoVim, then I will be able to speed along like a rabbit. A rabbit. 9, and then let's change these 50, 51, 52, 53. We'll just change these all to 70. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now that we have those, yeah, now that we have those all set up, we should make sure that these are spelled correctly. Otherwise, it's going to look very weird when we see achieve. Or how is this supposed to be spelled? There we go. Achieve. Oh, I spelled it very wrong. Oh, okay. All right, then. There we go. So all this means now is that when we should call all. Let me copy and paste these. So this just means. Oh, I hear. It sounds like we have a mess up in our data. No. There we go. Okay, so with this in mind, let's go and. All right, with this in mind, let's go and finish programming. Oh, where was I? Where was I? Oh, yes, the parser. Thank you. Said parser. Where are you? Parser. Found it. Down here. This. Okay, we need to set up a lot of these. So if topic is in this list, which happens to be game or URL. If it is in that, then we're going to return. I put down articles, but instead I'm just going to send back game. If topic is sitemap, we do that. Okay, else if. Let's go ahead and start doing that. Oh, that'll be a rather long one. You know what? I should ask Meeseeks to do this. Let's ask Meeseeks to do this. Alright, where are you, Meeseeks? Co.com. Alright, Mr. Meeseeks. Here we go. Let's see here, right here. And what I'm going to do, we want to do this. We'll make this a topic is in. Oh, and we're going to change this to lower. Like this. That way, if I have other options, then I might be able to do it. Oh, thinking about it, I could probably put this into my enum and then just start building a list out. Though that would kind of start combining the repositories, and that's probably not a good idea. It sounds like a good idea, but thinking about it, it's probably a really, really bad idea. So I'm going to just keep it here for now. But nonetheless, we're going to do all of that. So let's copy this. Put this in our PO here. So write a Python if or elif statement in this format. The return files are as follows, which happen to be these. They happen to be these. Use the variable name in place, or use the variable name for the dot, or If use the variable name. So this will be use a variable name in place of this. Okay then. We'll call this banana. Replace banana with a lowercase variable name. Okay, now work. Do you accomplish your goal? And the answer is no. It failed. It failed miserably. Why did you fail? Meeseeks. Oh, how could you fail? I'm copying all of this. Okay, let's copy all of this again. I think it might be because this is the assist tool, and the assist tool is kind of dope. It's a dopey thing. Okay, you be gone. ChatGPT 4.0. Can you solve this issue? There we go. Okay, it did a better job. And yeah, that works perfectly. Okay. That worked very nice. Okay, let's grab this. Paste it in there. Okay. Now, I think that's a lot of lowers. I'm just going to do this. Topic equals topic.lower. Now, wherever we find this, I'm just going to replace it with topic. There we go. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, latest translation homebrew achievements. If you remember movie, this is now going to be video as well. And what else was in our keys? Save. All right, those are right. Board. Images. There we go. Images. So this should help with that. We can easily grab hold of our type now. All right, so now what I want to do is proceed to do this. We'll go with this here. All right, this here. So this is parse game data, parse sitemap. So yeah, this is going to be this right here. But instead of that, what instead we're going to do is we're going to go for kv in datadict dot items. All right. So let's see here. When do we call this? Here. Right here. Okay. All right. So right here. This is going to be for each individual console. Or, I mean, this is going to hold all of the consoles, but this is going to be for individual type. I think this should be fine. Yeah, I think this should be fine when we do the ROM, because when we do the ROM hacking as well, it's actually in a very similar format where we'll be parsing out tables which will have all of the different consoles. This way I can go in and check out each individual console as opposed to, just randomly going through, or, going through a huge data structure. So we'll keep this. So I think this makes sense to have it like this. So for our K, this will be this. So that will be our key. And then that will be our values. we then save it. And then at the very end, we will then do self.save. All right, let's run this. Let's run this and see if it works. Console. Actually, we technically don't need the console code anymore, do we? Actually, I don't think so. Because we're not actually parsing the console code here. We're not, so this should, yeah, we need to change this. This happens to be, this is the ID. Okay, this is the ID. So this will be our, this. Actually, I remember what this will be. This is going to be sitemap. So we want this to be sitemap. This is going to make the... Let's go to data sources real quick. When am I importing in for... What are we importing and outporting? Web page type enum. That's us. I'm just thinking because I want to keep it all on this one enum. I don't want to have it just separating out everything. So when I'm parsing out the game data, we're using we're using the console code. I think that I should change that. This should be something else. This should theoretically be still the... All right. Let's do this for now. Let's go ahead and parse sitemap data. These are not... Yeah, these aren't needed anymore. Where are you? Topic. This right here. There we go. Let's go ahead and just run this all separately like this. And there we go. Game. Attribute error. Game. All right. Where's this error come from? Enum type. Oh, it's because I just updated the enum type, isn't it? I think so. Let's go update, or let's go activate that. Here we go. Let's run that there. That should temporarily overwrite what we're doing. Back into our parser. Here. Now if I run this, it should be fine. And, okay, there we go. Here's a different error, value error. Topic cheat. Oh. Okay, yeah, here. Okay. All right, cheat. Games. FAQ. I'm just filling these in right now. That tells me that GameFAQs is using multiple ways of outputting their stuff. Okay, let's try this. Oh, excuse me. Need a drink. And, oh yeah, it's because of web type enum. There we go. Okay. Run you now. Run. And ooh. The associated. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This should be code. All right. Actually, the K. Actually, thinking about it, we need to figure out what the topic enum is at the very beginning. But wait, we're already doing that. Value is not associated. Type for topic. Topic videos. Oh. It's called video, isn't it? Movie, yeah, video. Videos. Images, alright. Oh boy. There. And there's an ad. Okay. I guess I'm going to continue just working. I will continue working for now. And there we go. Good. Worked. Okay. Let's go check out the database. Here we are. Let's refresh. I don't see the data. Let's refresh our database. Yeah, it's not here. Did it get placed somewhere else? I do not see it somewhere else. Where did we save you? Document found and created. Okay. And then we ran the save, so it should have saved it. Document not found. Creating new document. Okay, yeah. So it created new documents for us, giving them those IDs. We're using data sources for data source service. So data source service creating the documents. We're then importing it in. We then run save, which should be here, where we save it to the... Yeah, we're doing web services. This should not be web services. We just saved it to the completely wrong location. Yeah, that's a big problem. I'm gonna have to go back and delete those. There we go. Let's run that set of code again. All right, let's go check out our here now. If we refresh, it's still not here. Okay, why is it still not here? In here? No. In here? No. Where did it go? Our data just kind of disappeared. Where is it? Did it go into the wrong... Are we sending it to a different database? Web page docs. It doesn't... Maybe... Let's go to the end. No. Where did our save go? That is very confusing. Huh. See here, 85. Yeah, that's not it. That's all correct. Okay, so where did it go? Where did this data just disappear? Where did it be absconded to? Document now found. Creating document. All of these. And then we run save. Right here. Let's see here. If I go to self.toSave, it is empty. I see why. We forgot to put it in there. Okay, then to save, or so what we're going to do here will be doc ID is equal to doc. All right then, this should fix our problem. Now if we run that, we get an error. Okay, I can work with errors. Let's see here, web type key is not an enum data source. Oh. All right, all right. Where are you? Where are you? And all right, value error. Mongo engine validation values. Doc game type key type enum is not a valid enum for the web page type. That might be because of, all right, we have to reset our, I was hoping I didn't have to, but we have to reset it. Okay. All right. Self dot, setup environment. There we go. Let's go to the main function. I don't see main. Where are you, main? There you are. Let's initialize the database. There we go. Now let's get over to our parser. Let's run the entire thing. That. Now let's just go ahead and manually run this for now. There we go. It looks like it worked. Hop into here, refresh, and there it is. Okay. There we go. All right then. So now what we have here is a web type. As you can see, we have game. So I probably should change this to sitemap instead of just calling it a game. And each of these individual items can be considered that. So let's go ahead and change that real quick. So we're going to create the, or get the document. We're going to call it site, and theoretically, I'm going to create the document at the beginning, like this. And this is going to take sitemap. Let's see here, web type enum dot sitemap dot code. And then as we go through and we extract out the data, we then go into, it's no longer updating the documents. So actually that is exactly what we're doing. This is correct. This is correct. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Now let's rerun this. Now if we go in to our compass, let's go ahead and get rid of these. And from this, it pretty much informs me exactly what I should do in the other section. Did I just delete it? I just deleted it. Okay, I just deleted it. Let's rerun it. Let's rerun it. Okay, there. So now we have this. Let's refresh. 13. Oh, why did it create all those again? Oh, I know why. I know why. Okay. I know why. I forgot. One last thing I need to do. Something that needs to be updated to all of the code. So let's go ahead and remove these again, because I'm a dingus. Okay. At least I'm not saving multiples over and over again because of how we have it set up. But once we're done saving our to-save file here, once we've done this and we saved, to save needs to be cleared. There we go. That way we have everything, we've cleared everything. And this needs to happen in every to-save function, because otherwise we'll be saving over, you know, it'll just be increasing the amount of things that we keep saving, and eventually we'll run out of memory. Okay, so with that, all right. Okay, with that, now our parser is done, or kind of. Over here, I'm going to change this. Instead of this being the console code, I am going to change this to, I'm going to change this to game. Dot game. That. Now from here, let's see here. From here we have the topic. Okay, let's go check that real quick. So web type object, articles. So in this particular case, in this, we end up using the different web types. So this one we can, because this is going to be the games, we can change this to the consoles. Because technically this is just a, actually this is a topic enum. Ha. Ha, hoo, ha, All right, if you're going to find out the games, you have to input, you have to use the console code. There we go. And you know what? You know what? I'm going to further elaborate this. Define parse. We'll call this game data. Like so. And we'll just put in our topic. Self.parse, here we go, parse game data. And then from here, we'll simply, let's see here. That means we technically don't need this anymore. Thinking. Well, technically we can still keep it, but we'll do this for console in console. See here, this should be game console enum. There we go. For that, we'll run this console topic, and then from here, if web doc list, if the length of this is none, Oh, let's see. We'll set that as equal to 0. Then we'll simply return nothing. We just won't do anything. And, okay, why is this complaining? Parse game data defined above without usage. Oh, I see. Redeclared. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is parse game data by console. There we go. So with this in mind, we can go through all the different consoles and extract them out. And if we can find out all of the tags with the said console, then we can just do it all at once. Now then, with that being said, we should probably start going through... Let's see here. Let's go back over here real quick. This we can delete. So here's our sitemap data. We can see all of the game data. Oh, that is wrong. Oh, that is very wrong. Oh, we got to change that. Okay. Yeah, we got to change that. I see what's going on. Let's fix that real quick. We're just inputting data dict, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Okay, let's grab our... Where is it? Topic. There we go. So this is parse game data by... Oh. Actually, this is a different one. So I think this is fine. It's the one up here. This one right up here that we need to do. We create that. Then we go through... Here we go. Value. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's rerun this. I'm glad that it's... Oh, none type. Okay, what is the 9 type for? Reverse field DB. Got it. Oh, how much you bet it's because the V? Okay, let's go ahead and run this. So now we have our system dir. There it is. We'll set the data dictionary. There. We'll then build that. We'll then run the... Oh. We'll then run this. That. And there we go. Okay. Let's see here. None type. Doc ID. Let's see what the doc looks like. Doc ID happens to be sitemap. Doc dot data sources. That actually looks very correct. Okay, what is the exact error when we try and save it? Let's see here. Reverse DB. Clear changed fields. Is it because sitemap still exists? I'm going to delete it. If this should not fail like that. It really shouldn't. And it worked. Okay. Very curious. Let's go check this out. And it's this way again. It is... Oh, wait. Did we not... We didn't pop it. Okay. All right. We do need to... I need to reset it. Because I am yeah, wasting time. Wasting time doing this. Okay, sitemap. If we go to objects, games, cheats, achievements, if we go into here, we then have our... That is it. That's what we want. That's what we want to see, our dictionary. So then we have all of the consoles, and then all of the extensions. So now when I go into our scraper, let's go over the, let's reset. Let's reset right here. We'll go ahead and initialize our scraper as well. There we go. So let's go over to scraper. Yeah, I don't see it. Let's go ahead and start exiting out of some of these things. GameFAQs scraper. All right. Now then, we're here. We are no longer building it ourselves. So theoretically, this does not belong here. Be gone. Now that we have that gone, we know that this needs to be, these can be gone too. The extension can be gone as well. So extract. So from here, what we should do is we can create a, let's see, we'll create here, and this will be called download console data. There we go. Console. Games. Oh. All right, game console enum. I guess we'll keep the topic as well. And then we'll put down list of strings just because that's actually, I don't think we're outputting anything now. So I can get, this can be none. We don't need that now. All right, that can go as well. There we go. Okay then, now then, we will do call extract console. But in this case, instead of it being here, what we can do is provide a list, or let's see, we'll call this a URL list. And this will be a list of strings. There we go. And I spelled list wrong. There we go, URL list. And here, we'll have to import in our, we will have to actually, because, we do still need to use the service. Or we could just call the documents. No, we should probably call the service. Okay, where is our parser code? We can copy the service in from there. Let's see here, data, here it is, data source service. Data source service, there, here it is, right here. I'll set the initialization here, like so. Let's import this. There we go. Now we have that. We do not need pandas anymore. Okay. Why don't we, oh, yeah, we have this that we need to work on. Okay then, let's see here. We're modifying this a bit. This is extract console data. All right. This is technically a list of all the games. So we should put this in a list for all the games. So the file name will not be... Yeah, this won't be the same. Trying to think things through. Let's see here. URL. We want to get... I guess the first thing we should do is, why don't we run this? Oh. Invalid syntax. Where's the invalid syntax? Line 53. Oh yeah, right here. Okay. All right. Why don't we go ahead and do this? I'm going to blank that out. Run this code. Actually, yeah, we'll run this. So this is the Game Selenium scraper. There we go. That should set us up. Nice. Now let's undo that. And then from here, what we can do is we can start pulling this data. So we'll... So this is pulling the sitemap data. We do not do that anymore. We're not pulling sitemap data. What we're doing is we're going into the data or data source services. And then we're going to get our document. In fact, we're not even creating a document. We're just going to query our collection. And in this case, we want to find our ID, which happens to be, let's see here. This should be a web page type. Oh, there it is. Sitemap. So we want that. And so yeah, we're looking for this. And there it is, right there, our data source. So if, we'll call this data source, we have that, then data source is going to equal data source, the first entry. And then from here, we go to data source dot now let's see, this is called the, I forget. My brain is like mush. My brain is like spaghetti. Data sources, thank you. Data sources. So our data source, we're going to go into data sources and we're going to get our console. Actually, we're going to get our... This is going to be a double get. This is going to be the topic. And then this is going to be the... This is going to be the topic, and this happens to be no longer be a string. This happens to be a web type. So this will be a web type enum. And we don't have one. So we'll just call this topic, like so. And then from here, we'll also do a... I'll have to set up a... As I said, we'll have to start looking into the advanced dictionaries. But this will then be the console code, like that. So it's going to look like this for now. So let's do this. Wait, suspected a... Oh yeah. This. Okay. Oh, another expected. There we go. And let's see here. Not an unexpected key argument, ID. Why would that be unexpected? base service has ID. ID is like the, yeah, that should exist in the base service. Let's see here. Switch DBs. If instance is enum, so yeah, if the value is an enum, then we change it. It has nothing to do with the query. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the query. Why is it throwing this error? That is very curious. Let's see here. Unexpected argument ID. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay, let's go back here. The query should be this, but it still threw an error. So what is the exact error that it was throwing? Topic is not defined. Okay. I think I know what was wrong. I think I know what is wrong. Let's see here. This should be web page type. And this will be game. There. And here we go. Throw an error. Okay. Attribute does not have get. Okay. Well, we are here. Oh, hey, adjustable. Oh, I see. That was much later. Wait a minute. Where did this come from? This top chat shouldn't be here. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. We have data source out, don't we? Yeah, we have data source right there. So what is the, if I do data source dot data sources, that is I'm going to have to change the name of that. There we go. And this gives us a dictionary of everything. Let's see here. Let's go with keys. And here we go. We can see, there it is, different types of enums. So there's the web type enum for game. Cheats. Okay then. So if I do a get call like this on topic, we get this, which happens to be a dictionary. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why did I do that? That doesn't make sense. This isn't a search. There we go. Okay then, console not defined. We'll go with Game Boy. And it looks like it's working. And yes, there it is, the extension. All right. So we can get our extensions easily. So now we have this. We'll call this the this will be the extension, which is a string. We will input this. They claim a list. I don't, since we're doing a get, how about we, I'm trying to, let's do that. Let's do this. We'll call this the extension dict. This happened to be a dictionary which holds 2 strings. There we go. We'll feed that in here. Now this will be a dictionary, so this will be a actually no, we should no. Okay. All right then. So far we have this. We've managed to get our URL. So we'll just call this URL. We'll call that extension, which we feed in to here. All right, what is it complaining about? Local variable might be referenced before assignment. Oh, I see. I see. There we go. And then from here, we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. What we do need to do is put down, this will be the URL extension. Like so. All right. So far, so good. Now then. This is going to extract out all of the, whatever the console may be. And then when it comes to saving it, we're going to save it in a file called game. So this will be the games, or this will be the web page type. Enum game. There we go. This is not a sitemap anymore. This is now game. There we go. Actually, theoretically, this is still in the sitemap section. This is still theoretically in the sitemap section. But for now, we'll separate it out into its own document. So that's the ID. This is the web type. This is the ID. This is going to be the web type. So it's going to be, we'll call it game. So file name. Because of the fact that these are extractions of different pages, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on those. So, yeah, we don't have to worry about tag. In fact, we're going to be doing what we were doing up here. Actually, wait. If you think about it, this is all of the different data. This is all of the download web pages. We're not actually parsing it. So technically, because of that, the other stuff should be fine. Yeah, this should be fine. So we're going to have to keep this out as file name. Console. Okay, yeah, this stems to how are we going to store the data now? Not in the parse data, but here. So we have sitemap, and then I can have the console, there's the tag, sitemap. So these are all still sitemaps, but we're defining out different consoles. Because this is all technically the extracted web pages for those. These are all the extracted sitemaps for these. And what we're going to do is, when we parse it, we will be parsing it into a different document. This will be not sitemap anymore, but games. Or we could parse it out in sitemap. But they already have a game object here, which highlights all the different consoles. And I'm trying to think, because the way that the data is structured. Let's see, how am I extracting the data from here? So this is getting our sources. This is where we're getting our extension. And then we're going to run, I think that might be it. I think that might be it. So what we can do here is we'll still pass in console. We'll still pass in console. But we'll also pass in the appropriate extension there. And then from here, we can then go to our URL, do this. This will be the... Yeah, this is where I'm trying to figure things out. Because if you look here, we're doing a parser right here. We're extracting out all of the URL data, calling it text and data list, or dir list. We then will create a file. So we're downloading sitemap, downloading console. Maybe I should run this real quick. That might be it. Why don't we run this code here real quick? Let's see here, download console. Or actually, this is what we're changing. How did it look before? Let's see here. We want to go to GameFAQs, document data, PlayStation games, A, B, C, D, F. Oh yeah, that's because of this is how we were set up. And then we were going through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then saving those out. Okay. So yeah, I know what's... All right, I kind of know what we're doing. Okay. All right, I know what we're doing. We have the sitemap. It loads up all of the different files, and instead of saving each individual, saving the list of URL pages, instead I go in to there, find all of them, and then proceed to go through and save each individual one. So that is what I'm doing. And this is all of just basic, the directory stuff as well for for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So with that in mind, you know what? Congratulations. File, you're going to be the URL extension. That's what the document name is, URL extension. That's what you are. You are URL extension. And then from here, if I just want to parse it out, I'm going to go into the parser. Let's see here, parse this data out. I have here identify all the URL pages based off of the console and the web page type. No, we're not doing that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to just find all of the URLs. Oh no. I hear birds trying to... Oh no. I hear birds in my kitchen. They're trying to build a nest. I'm gonna have to tell them no. Annoying birds. They're trying... In Hong Kong, it is ludicrous. It is ludicrous. There is a law in Hong Kong where if you try to take down a bird's nest, it is considered highly illegal and you can be fined and arrested. So if there's a bird and it makes a nest in my kitchen, I have to leave it there until it leaves. I'm not allowed to feed the birds. In fact, they tell everybody in Hong Kong, do not feed wild animals. So we're not allowed to feed the birds, but we have to respect where they decide to make their nests. So if they put it in, I don't know, the area where all of the heat goes out of, then it sucks for me. I guess I am not using that until they leave. I wish that... I wish there was a way to relocate, but that would require the birds to understand, and I don't think the birds would understand exactly. Either way. We're changing this here. Particularly, we're changing this here. So what I want to do is I'm going to save the data. The best course for me, I kind of know what we want, but I want to be able to see it and run through it. So let's see here. So what we're going to do is we're passing in console extension. We don't need console anymore. Oh, well, Okay, we're going to keep the console because of the fact that we're saving it as a tag. And we're going to save the web page data. So let's go ahead and run this. Let's run all this. Oh, URL extension not defined. Okay. Let's see here. I think we defined extension, didn't we? No, we didn't. Okay. Let's run this. There we go. We defined our extension. There it is. Let's change this to URL extension. Oh. There we go. Oh, come on. Quit auto-completing. Now let's run this. All right, so this should start running. We'll go to sitemap. There it is. There's all of the, there we go. And we're beginning. We're going through the list. We won't see it until the very end because we are not saving automatically now. We're putting them in cache. Yeah, I need to probably move this parsing out. As much as I like it set up like this, I think I might need to move the parsing out because ultimately what happens if this crashes at this, like we get banned at this point or the internet drops at this point or something happens. I could either A, forget about all the stuff we extracted, or B, I could save what we have and then go back to where we left off. And I want to cut down on the number of steps. So if I have to keep going to the sitemap to extract the data for Game Boy, and then I can proceed to start going down the line, that would cause a lot of headaches. So what I'll probably have to do is set up another layer for downloading the console sitemaps, and then we can simply extract those URLs and use them. But it's working pretty well so far. Check this out. Mario's Picross. I wish I could play that. I wish I could play that. I really didn't have Game Boy much when I was a kid. I did have a couple games. Mainly, I had Mega Man on Game Boy. I think it was like Mega Man 4. And I had... I had Legend of Zelda, which is a Game Boy Color game, and I had Mega Man 4. And I had Mario, and that's it. I didn't really have anything else. Especially when I was growing up. And that was largely because, well, it's a bit difficult to come across games when you move around a lot. And good luck with, like, Walmart holding a whole lot of stuff. I know they tend to hold a bunch of stuff nowadays, but back then it was a little bit difficult to find things. Actually, I don't think Walmart existed back then. Either way, I had to go to second-hand markets to find games, which made it quite difficult. Because you never could know what the quality was. Alright, let's see here. Let's refresh. And 29. Okay. Why does it feel like it didn't work? There we go. Sitemap Game Boy. Oh. It did work. It did work, but this is the problem I was talking about. Alright. That was the problem I was talking about. It's saving the URL extension. Is not saving the game directory extension. Alright then. Alright. So yeah, let me go ahead and mark this down. So contain or to do. Remove more parsing. Change to save console data. Save console alphabet data. As sitemap. There we go. Then parse later. Okay, there we go. We'll have to still think about it. We'll put a maybe here. But for the most part, it's working. I know I just messed up there, but this is a simple fix right here because we know what the game directory is. So we can easily pull that out, save it, and then once we go to the parser, we can then go to the game, this one here, extract the game data. Or, let's see here. I think the extract topic, site topic map should be higher. Oh, actually, where is this? Where are we using this? Ah, we're using it here. Okay, I need to do some renaming too. Yeah, I need to do some renaming too. But it's working well. It looks like we're getting very close to being able to just start extracting everything. And the data structures are coming along nicely as well. Let's go ahead and commit everything. So let's go ahead and commit all of this. So we see here. All right, so update Selenium scrapers to use source DB or source. Yeah, we'll call it source, or to use source data for extraction. Add source data doc. Let's see here, add parser code for GameVax. And anything else? Oh yeah. Add more web page data types. There we go, nice. Okay, it looks like everything is going well. I think that's good. We'll continue more next time. But it's been fun, We've managed to get much further. Soon we'll have to... Yeah, we have to get all of the back stuff done first before we can start doing more of the sexy stuff, which is figuring out how to break websites, extraction code, and start extracting all the data we want. But we first need to extract the data to put in our database, and then we can start doing the parsing. So for now, things are going smoothly. Next time, we can start working more on our scrapers, and we can really start digging into the parsers, because we're going to actually start getting the game data. Like, what are the ratings? What are the submissions? Or, what's the ratings? What's the score? What is the description? We're going to start pulling all of that data. getting it into our list. And we can also, since we've started figuring most of this out for GameFAQs, we can now start doing it for romhacking.net as well. So we can start building the parser for that website too. So tomorrow's going to be a lot of parsing. What I'll do is I'll run the code while overnight, so I can at least get some data so we can start using it. That way we won't have to wait for it. But until then, it's been fun. It's been fun. Everybody have a good one. Have a good morning. Have a good night, wherever you may be. Have a good one. And I'll see you tomorrow. Laters. Oh, I see that it didn't. I need to add that. Let me add that in, because that's missing. There we go. Oh, not done with it. There we go. Okay. There we go. It's working now. Anyway. Later.